Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods Podcast, episode 117. That's cool. Spartan 117. Jumping in.
Finishing the fight.
Finish the fight.
Halo stuff.
You guys got any more Master Chief lines? Real quick.
Every game has been a letdown except for 1 and 2.
I don't remember Master Chief saying that in the game at all.
He did.
Did he say that in
so
3?
wrong.
That's how 3 starts. He just looks
Infinite.
at the camera.
Yeah.
Every game has been a letdown. Joining us as always, Daniel. Never really.
What's up, gamers?
And also joining us, Steven Sims.
Howdy.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good
Howdy,
to be back, man. I'm good, man. Year older, year wiser.
I was going to say, I wanted to wish a happy late birthday to Steven Sims.
Thanks,
He turned
man.
31 on Monday.
31 on Monday, yeah.
31. See, I know stuff. I know stuff about you.
You know stuff.
Yeah. Daniel, when's your birthday?
October.
October, on the way in there. Okay. Well, we'll wish you a
Getting
happy
there.
birthday then too. Guys, anything interesting happened in this week in your personal lives?
No. Just seen Doctor Strange, turned 31, bought myself some Legos for the fan. Oh god, I've just not
Was that like the first showing of Doctor Strange in your area, Sims?
I think there was one at 9 in like the
You saw it at 10 a.m. your time?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, we nearly didn't make it. Nearly had to, like there's no refund as well. So, yeah,
Fast.
I know. It was
Kevin
good.
Feige, like, I'm getting your money no matter what.
You can't even use like coronavirus as an excuse because, like, back in the day, like if you said you had corona, they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just arrange it for another time." But no, yeah, it was decent. Had a good time. Can't complain. Stephen Strange strikes again.
Good movie. Trying to get like a non-spoilery review out of you. But this movie seems very hard not to spoil.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very Sam Raimi, and that's my negatives. But for anyone else, it might not be a negative.
How do you like the Evil Dead series?
I've never seen them.
Oof.
I just don't like horror. Like.
Well, they're
horror.
not. They're the first one is, but 2 and 3 are not.
They try to be.
They're a little. They're gory, but they're not. I wouldn't consider
Like, I wouldn't show Evil Dead to a kid.
No,
know what I mean?
but that's not necessarily horror.
Sure, I get what you mean. I'm
The
looking
first
forward to
one
seeing
is.
it though, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, there's been another busy week in the world of video games. Kicking off then, Embracer Group has purchased multiple former Square Enix developers, including Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal for $300 million. They have also acquired some notable IP along with the purchases, including Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. The deal is expected to go through in Q3 sometime this year.
Don't forget Legacy of Kain with
And
those
Legacy
Legacy of Kain
of Kain.
weirdos. I'm just kidding.
Those fucking freaks. There's another
Those
random
freaks.
one that I'm forgetting here.
I think
the
there's
Gek game now or whatever.
Gex. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think
Gex,
people
that's
know
it.
what's happening with Gex, but I don't think that they've talked about all the IP that they're getting. I still feel like they're not completely through the deal, so they're probably still talking what IP they're getting.
Crazy they got all this IP with it as well, you know.
Well, yeah, if you want to start getting into this entire conversation, like Embracer, I think they are now 124 studios strong, which I think in context is like nearly 4 times the size of Xbox. I think it's like 5 times the size of Sony. It's just like this is the largest like publishing arm in gaming.
Is it?
They're huge.
Yeah, I guess it
I'm
would be.
pretty
then,
sure.
Huh? Yeah.
I don't think anyone. I don't know who would even close. Maybe
I think we just
Tencent.
don't think of them like that because a lot of them aren't like super notable studios. You know, a lot of
They're
them seem
small,
like smaller support studios and a lot of mobile studios and stuff like that. So I guess we just don't necessarily think of them like that. But I think with these studios now, these are certainly. I mean, I think Crystal Dynamics is certainly their biggest studio now, at least like popularity wise. And then, well, I guess Gearbox could be considered above them even. Yeah, so probably be neck and neck between them. But nonetheless, I mean, these are 3 giant studios now going to them.
Yeah, I think that within this deal, they're getting about 1,000 employees, which is for these 3 studios. That shows you how massive. And I think that it's about 14 to 15,000 for the entire company, which is
Yeah,
insane. That's how big
yeah,
they are. I think
it's a lot of
Activision, I
people.
think, is around 10,000, which is a lot. So this is significantly larger than Activision in terms of amount of employees. But 300 seems very small amount. But that's coming from a perspective of liking these studios and liking what they do. I don't know if that's perspective of what they're actually valued at.
It seems it's so cheap for these 3 studios as well. I mean, Sony bought Insomniac for a little. I think it was like 320 million. So it's like
Yeah, somewhere in
they
there.
got all 3 of these studios for cheaper than Sony bought Insomniac for, which is just kind of crazy that Square Enix was selling them for so low. Sims, I
Yeah.
know you're a big fan of Crystal Dynamics, Tomb Raider games, Avengers, whatnot. What are you thinking about this?
I think it's the burden that they had that they haven't got anymore. I think it's hard. Like, it's hard to defend a game that Avengers, like, it's hard to defend it, but it's almost like they grew tired of it, and now they've, like, that's just one IP as well. So, but then, like, Tomb Raider, like they've always come out and gone, oh, it's under expectations. It's like sold under expectations, and now it's just like it's somebody else's problem now. So it's hopefully, like, Embracer Group, like, become this known thing. Like, they pull up their socks and they start making, like, a name, and especially with these 3, like, these have got to be their main studios now, right? Surely.
Other than Gearbox and THQ. But if you start breaking them down, it's like they own THQ, they own Volition, which is about to put out Saints Row. Like, they own significant studios that I just don't know if people really think about like that. But Crystal is probably, one of their bigger ones. I mean, Eidos is awesome. That was one of our favorite games last year. They made Guardians.
But it's
Yeah.
not sold what they wanted. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose they are these the type of people who think, oh, we've got Marvel, so it's gonna sell.
Yeah, see, Square, it's interesting. I don't know if it's entirely like just all on Square of like maybe their expectations were too high. I don't know if it is just their fault though. Like,
It's almost like,
I don't know, bad marketing maybe, which would be Square's
I
problem.
mean, the
Maybe
problem.
they gave them too much money and they expected a certain amount because of the IP, and then they didn't get it.
I think
I
the
don't know.
problem that Guardians had was the fact that everyone had played Avengers, and they was like, if you know type thing of like, oh, we played Avengers, it wasn't that great, why would we play this? And first thing I said when I saw the gameplay was like, it looks like Avengers. Like, the gameplay looks Avengers, and the gameplay was boring. Like, don't get me wrong, like the traversal and the conversation, like getting to point A to point B to then do the very monotonous fighting, that was good. That was entertaining. Like, it was great to listen to the voice actors, and you listen to their version of the Guardians, which was probably the best part of the game. But when it became to, like, fighting, moment to moment gameplay, it was just boring. So, I mean, it's on Games Pass now, and I'm sure a lot of people are seeing it now and thinking, oh yeah, I'm glad I played it, but I'm glad I didn't pay, $50, $60, $70. Like, so it's a strange one. Like, and then, you go to the Tomb Raider games. I enjoy. I feel like the Tomb Raiders went downhill over the course of the 3 games. I think the first one was, spectacular.
I think that's arguable because I think Rise is awesome.
I mean, they're all
and
good,
arguably
but
better than the first.
And then, you had that stupid decision by Xbox. Whoever, or is it? It'd be Ada.
I mean, it would have been Square.
And they're going, oh, you can have
You took 'em
Xbox and
up.
play it first. Yeah, like, what
Yeah,
a
I
stupid
mean, that would have
decision.
technically been a publishing deal, or like Crystal wouldn't really have had much to. So it'd have been Square saying we want money. Xbox paid them,
especially in a time where Xbox wasn't the place to be anymore. And
and they needed that year was Gears, Tomb Raider, and Halo 5.
all in the
Gears
very
4,
close
all in the
together.
same fall.
Yeah, I don't know if that was such a
fall for them.
bad deal because I mean, Xbox marketed that Tomb Raider game.
They
so
marketed
hard.
the.
It went
I
hard.
remember.
I remember just seeing that, like getting annoyed of seeing so much
Yeah.
Tomb Raider at that point.
Yeah, they were like big fall for Xbox, right?
Yeah, it was like they had the sliders of, like, you'd see Tomb Raider, Gears, Halo, and it'd be like, oh, big game. It's I don't know. It's for Square. It's, I suppose it's something not to worry about anymore, and then we can start focusing on the stuff that really matters to them. Final Fantasy, unfortunately, Kingdom Hearts, so
Dragon Quest.
So do what they do best, and then I think they've just realized this Western what's it called, Western studios. They don't work.
I mean, but speaking of that, like they haven't gotten rid of everything yet. I mean, that's not to say that they won't in coming up, but like they still own Deck 9 and Life is Strange, or like they have a deal there. They own the IP of Life is Strange. They still
they own Deck 9?
They might not actually own it. They own the IP for the series. They own Outriders. They don't own People Can Fly, but they own Outriders.
Yeah, we know they're keeping those IP.
And Just Cause.
Strange, Outriders, Just Cause, yeah.
Which are they're all pretty big series, except for really Outriders. It could be, but like they still have Western things that they're doing. Will they get rid of those too? That's a good question. I mean, we can start moving the conversation into.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried for Square Enix here. I think they want out. I think it's becoming quite obvious they want out. They want to be sold. It's funny with all these acquisitions going on. It's seeming more and more that companies want to be sold, not necessarily people are going to them and asking to buy them. It seems like they're going. Even Activision Blizzard, it came out that they went to Microsoft first. Yeah. Ubisoft, they came out last week or whatever. Said they're looking to be sold. Square Enix, we hear the rumor from Jeff Grubb that the big one was Sony, that Sony was looking to purchase Square Enix. So it's I think it's just a matter of time before the rest of Square Enix gets sold off here too. And I mean, they've been handling, outside of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, really, they've been handling their properties really badly. I mean, look at Babylon's Fall. That came out. There's
almost no marketing.
Almost no marketing. Almost no one's playing it. I think there was like less than 10 players on Steam or whatever the other day for that game, and that game came out like 2 months ago. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Square. They tried to break in to the Western market with these studios about a decade ago now, with Tomb Raider, that reboot and all that, Deus Ex and stuff like that. And I just think it wasn't working out for them the way they wanted. They weren't getting their money back and stuff like that. And then they come out and they give a reason why they sold these 3 studios, and they said blockchain. They're looking into blockchain. They're looking into AI. They're looking into cloud. They're looking to invest in stuff like that. And it's just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You guys are a video game company. Like, I don't know what AI. Like, what are you guys about to develop here? So
yeah,
I don't know. At this point, I almost hope Square doesn't keep these properties, or they do sell off their development teams, because it sounds like they're going in a direction I don't like. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely worried for Square here.
Yeah, Square has been a weird company for years. I forget exactly when it was, but I don't know if you remember hearing talk of Xbox acquiring them back in the day. This might have been around the time of the Rise deal, but there was rumblings that they could be purchased Square outright. But that was a long time ago. I don't know if they're looking to now, but yeah, Square definitely seems like they are trimming what they think is fat, which I think is kind of crazy, because those 3 studios they just got rid of are awesome. Yeah, they look like they might be trying to be sold, but who knows? Maybe they don't, because if you look
maybe
at
getting
like
smaller is the right idea, right? Like
maybe getting smaller is the right idea, and
just hone in on what you guys are good at, which is obviously Final Fantasy. And then, I mean, the Life is Strange games have been great too, but like we said, we don't know if they own Deck 9, so it's maybe looking at purchasing them or something, or at least you have the IP. I don't know. It's because it's like also those IP we just named. It's like, who's developing those now? Because it seems like Avalanche is busy making that Contraband game with Xbox, so they're not going to go back to Just Cause anytime soon. What were the other ones? Outriders. Who developed Outriders?
People Can Fly.
People Can Fly.
They just did the big DLC for it just recently.
Maybe they're looking into a sequel on that. Certainly, there's got to be another Life is Strange game somewhere in the works at either Deck 9 or Don't Nod. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird position for Square to be in.
I want to pull like a left turn real quick to take the conversation just a little in a different direction. I don't know if this is even possible for them. But what if Nintendo goes in Japanese Square? They have a very deep history with Nintendo as well. Dragon Quest has always been on Nintendo. They have all of those little RPGs that they do are usually Nintendo first. That's the weird thing about if PlayStation does acquire them, what really happens with their relationship with Nintendo. Just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know. If PlayStation did acquire them, I think you could still see a world where you definitely still get those, the Octopath Travelers and the Triangle Strategy. Obviously, they wouldn't be launching exclusively on Switch anymore, but I think you could still see those games come to Switch and even Xbox, even if they did purchase Square. I don't know. I think the only reason Sony would purchase Square is to prevent others from getting them, because they pretty much already got their notable. Like, they already have Final Fantasy 16 exclusive. They already have FF7 Remake exclusive. Those are Square's biggest properties. So I don't think Sony really gains much from purchasing the rest of these studios, but you would need to prevent other teams from getting that, because that'd be devastating to them if, say, Xbox came in, swooped up the Japanese studios of Square. All of a sudden, Final Fantasy is an Xbox exclusive. That'd be devastating for PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, I guess speaking of the Xbox side, Sims, what do you think? Why don't you think that they just went and bought Crystal? Like, at least Crystal, if not Eidos. Like, honestly, they should have just. If there was a way for them to swoop in, Xbox could have easily thrown one bill, which is over double, and boom, that's it. That's like a month, less than a month of their
Just
revenue.
for Crystal.
Yeah, why not?
That'd just
Just
be
say,
funny,
hey,
'cause they just paid $300 million for all three of these.
no, that's what I mean. Just like, yeah, well, yeah, you're gonna embrace her. We'll just throw a cool bill, and we'll take all.
I think it's just a case. I think it's just a case of them. Have they just got too many studios at this point now? Like, I think they're busy. I think surely you can't buy two studios at once, especially this magnitude. Like, you've got Activision going on, and that seems to be going up and down. What it's been accepted, but now is it Kotek's getting sued? I briefly read something, and every time I read probably Kotek, I'm just like, nope, not bothered. But yeah, why would you? I don't know. There's too many, isn't there? Like, surely there's too many cooks boil the broth, right? Like, too many studios, too many. I know they've just like hired like an acquisition manager, so maybe they're more
it
worried
seems like
about.
they might be doing more of like Bethesda's doing Bethesda. They're probably gonna have Activision doing Activision, Blizzard doing Blizzard. So I guess that it's just gonna kind of go up a chain, at some point. So I don't necessarily think.
When they were in the process, when they were in the process of buying Bethesda, did they buy anyone in the middle, like of
I think they're only two purchase. That's why like last year was kind of crazy that Sony bought so many things, because I think in between, the Bethesda and Activision Blizzard is so huge, but I think that was the only things they technically bought within the past 2 years.
Haven't necessarily bought anyone on the size of Bethesda or Activision.
No, just quantity. I mean, just quantity.
Yeah, I mean, every time like Sony announces it, it's kind of, it's done. Don't worry about it. From this moment, this is what's gonna happen. For me, it's just like, does Xbox really need that many now? Like, they've got so many studios and so many games that, I think I mentioned it ages ago. Like, I'm not on it. I'm not here a lot at the moment. But like, a lot of the projects at the moment are either under scrutiny, having problems, having to restart, changing teams. It's it's a lot going on, and maybe this is why the acquisition managers came involved, and like, maybe Activision's just that this is all we're gonna get from Xbox until at least next, until the signed, sealed, delivered, and then we'll get some more. But I don't know what.
I think you're close, because I think there's a decent chance Xbox can't buy anything else right now, because they're in the middle of acquiring the Xbox thing, and they don't want to do anything to fuck that up. It's like, they're trying to pass the Activision acquisition, and it's just like, oh, you guys are also trying to purchase Square Enix now too. Well, we're gonna deny one of these, so it's like they're probably best off waiting until that goes fully through, and then they can go back to purchasing other studios.
Touching what you said about Xbox, potentially buying Square, that would be devastating for a PlayStation. PlayStation, I know, we're going, PlayStation buying Square. It seems like a strategic move to shut down them Final Fantasy. Like, people, I think Final Fantasy, I think PlayStation. I know, like, we get all the remakes and the collections and etc. on PC, Switch, and on the Xbox, but like, the newer games seem to be just PlayStation. And like, if Xbox were to buy them, it'd be devastating for PlayStation. Like, they've lost one of their you think Final Fantasy VII, you think PlayStation 1. What do you mean? Like 1997 that game came out? Like, and then what? 20 years later, Final Fantasy 16, Xbox only. Like, it doesn't. They're proud of their legacy, and they want to keep especially Final Fantasy being Final Fantasy. That's their legacy. So I can see the Square thing happening for PlayStation. I think PlayStation is going to buy the Square, and I think they're going to buy Konami. I think that's going to happen, especially the gaming side. Like, maybe just their IPs. Like, we'll buy the IPs. You feel free to use them in the pachinko machines, etc. But it doesn't seem like you're doing anything. And here's, a couple of bill, and we'll take Silent Hill and Metal Gear off you. I know Castlevania is there as well. It's difficult. It's a very difficult. It's a difficult thing. And then the Ubisoft. I think I read something earlier that Yves Guillemot wants to buy Ubisoft privately himself, so just to stop any kind of like. I could have read it wrong.
No, he's trying to. Or I think that they were doing like some private, so that they're not like public or something like that. And it sounds like Ubisoft might not be sold to somebody big, some big company like EA or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. They might actually just be sold to some other big company that is.
See Embracer Group buying them as well. Just putting, how many years are we from, Xbox show, PlayStation show, Nintendo show, Embracer show, and Embracer's got all the Gearbox, the 2K, not 2K, Gearbox, Crystal Dynamics.
THQ.
Like why not? Like let's have an Embracer Group, hire a well-known face for their.
They're doing just the THQ Nordic one.
Exactly, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, they are.
They hire, let's say they hire Greg Miller, and he, people tune in to watch Greg, and he talks about these games that Embracer Group are trying to sell to you. Who knows, man? I tell you what, the biggest news of the day is though, in the UK, we can go cinema and watch the Game Awards. It's like 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah. We'll talk
2
about
in the
that
morning.
later.
Yeah, man. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, are you gonna go at 2 in the morning?
No, I watch it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I think Summer Games Fest, I could probably watch that at 6 o'clock in the cinema. But it's like middle of summer. I don't want to be in the cinema in the middle of summer.
PlayStation used to do that with their E3 conferences. I went a couple times to a movie theater.
Oh, really? What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah. It was just a bunch of PlayStation fans going nuts. So it was at like the really good one where we got like the God of War reveal and whatever that one. I think Horizon was 2017 there. Oh, wow. Yeah, it might have been 2017.
Or no,
Crash
2016
was shown first
maybe?
there. The remake. I remember people going fucking nuts at that. So that was cool.
I
kind of want to get into to like what is Embracer going to do with these studios? I know we're going long on this topic, but
yeah, I want to add one thing real quick before we move to just specifically Embracer. Is I think we've talked about this before. Is I think that we are just now in a completely new era in games or same. I think it isn't just going to be all of these different publishers like they used to be. I think a lot of the smaller ones are going to get bigger, like a Devolver or an Annapurna, stuff like that. And then I think a lot of the middle AAA are just going to be party at this point. I think every single one.
It's like
I would not
like these guys want to be sold.
Yeah, and I think it's because development is expensive. You need people. Everything is crazy right now.
It's hard times too, man. Like I think COVID just hit everyone really hard, and like we're seeing the effects now.
We're seeing everything being created. So I would not be surprised if literally everyone that isn't the Nintendo, I guess Embracer, Tencent, Xbox, PlayStation, everyone else I think is on the table. That is
I think EA.
That is 2K.
EA is the big one where I'm like, we haven't really heard what EA is thinking here. Are they trying to acquire stuff or are they trying to be sold?
Yeah, I kept saying that I feel like they might try to acquire because they are the next biggest after Activision. But like the way everything's going, I feel like EA, if maybe that's the next big Xbox thing. What if they're like, we have a big partnership with them already?
I mean, that'd be a great one to go for after.
I don't know. Yeah,
Activision.
Bunch of yearly releases and stuff, but yeah, I just think that we're just moving into
like I don't know where Xbox locks down Call of Duty and Madden
and FIFA.
Oh my god,
just
that'd be nuts.
But yeah, like I just think we're in just a new era. But yeah, you want to talk
quick
about
with Embracer Group? Yeah, I just want to. I mean, what do we think they're gonna do here with these IP? It doesn't really seem like they're they don't fuck around too much, you know. It's like it kind of just seems like a lot of the developers are just developing games now, you know. So it's not like, and it's not like bad direction games either. It's not like I don't see them making like a lot of like, you know, battle royales or something like that. It doesn't seem like they're trying to like go in one direction. They're just kind of letting these studios do what they do, which is what you want, right? But they certainly like to bring back stuff. We see it with
a lot of re-releases.
Yeah, how many re-releases Knights of the Old Republic has got? They just put out that the SpongeBob, that remake.
SpongeBob, Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, Destroy All Humans,
Kingdoms
stuff like
of
that.
Amalur.
And what do we see with all of those first? They put out like a re-release or like an updated version of those games, and then they try to make a new one. I mean, there's rumblings about Destroy All Humans 3. We know we're getting that new SpongeBob platformer. So I think they're probably just going to do the same thing here. So I'd imagine we get re-releases of that Tomb Raider trilogy at some point.
We're already
Maybe
getting
they even go
a new
back
one.
to the other. Yeah, we're already getting a
They
new one
announced
on
that,
Unreal
yeah.
Engine 5. So I'd imagine we keep developing that. What do we think about Guardians? Is there any way that IP continues? Is Embracer just going to have to work
What I
out a
will
deal with Disney
say,
here?
to Embracer's like credit, is like they're just letting Gearbox stay with 2K and do all this Borderlands stuff. So it seems like they're maybe that's another side of the coin that we haven't really talked about. Maybe just like Crystal is an Embracer studio, but they're just working with Xbox, you know, or stuff like that.
Oh,
Like, what
and
if
we do
they're-
know Crystal is continuing to work on Perfect Dark with
Yeah.
the initiative.
Yeah, so what if they're just like cool? So maybe they could be cool. They'd have to talk to Disney and John Drake, you know. So like,
Which
what if
they
he's just
already
like,
have a relationship with because they're making the Knights of the Old Republic remake with Aspire, which they own. So
So like maybe it's just shaking different hands at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like why not? If I would say if Eidos wants to do it and Embracer's like cool with it, I don't see why they.
yeah, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, no chance of we ever get a Guardians 2 now." I'm like, there might be a better chance we get a Guardians 2 now. Honestly,
Yeah.
After
Just
this,
scope it properly and not just
Yeah.
have Square, you know, maybe have too much budget and expect too much from it, you know.
Definitely. Okay, cool. Anything else on this, guys?
Let's bring every property back. Deus Ex.
All of
Let's
them.
bring Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain for those freaks, you know.
Freaks.
Those Legacy of Kain.
I think the reality that we're in is in 7, 8 years, everything will be under a subscription.
Mhm.
Like as simple as that.
It's all about the content at that point, right?
Yeah, you get all these acquisitions, and then you buy you buy PlayStation, you get PlayStation Plus.
Can't wait to
Yeah, it's true.
subscribe to Embracer Plus in 5 years. Gonna be
I'm
great.
right.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
Ubisoft. Yeah, it's you'll just have all these subscriptions. Like,
what if Embracer partners with Xbox and puts things in Game Pass?
I mean, that'd be lovely. But would that?
that would be lovely.
I'm just throwing it out there. Or even PlayStation Plus.
I mean, if we could all come to an agreement and just everyone go on one subscription service, that sounds lovely. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
That is not gonna. Look how many fucking subscriptions you got to subscribe to watch what you
Oh
wanna
yeah,
watch
for TV
now.
and movies, it's insane. It's already.
I know. I accidentally just forgot about my Paramount Plus, and
Did it roll over?
yeah, it rolled over. I'm just like, oh, you motherfuckers.
So is Halo done?
No, they're on episode.
They have like
7.
one more,
I've been
right?
keeping up. Yeah, there's
2 more.
I think it goes to 10. So it might be
Is it
3
going
more.
to 10? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 8.
All right, cool. We'll move on then. Next up, Blizzard has announced Warcraft Arclight Rumble, a new strategy game for mobile that's set in the Warcraft universe. Sims, I know you're a huge Warcraft fan.
The biggest.
The biggest.
Got
You like it when I do that, when I call you a fan of something that you're just clearly not a
Like,
fan
I've
of?
got no
Because I do it
video.
like twice an episode at least.
RuneScape. That's where it's at. Yeah,
Oh
why
my
not? I think. I mean, the only import, you know, is a quick story for all of us. I don't think any of us. I've never tried Warcraft, but mobile games sell. Like mobile game, you put them on for free, and then you put in a transactions, and people, you know, especially with Warcraft name all plastered all over it, people gotta play it, people gotta love it, people gotta spend money on it, and then Blizzard make money. That's it. Put that on.
Daniel, I imagine you and Henry Cavill are going to be all over this.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on a tank top and I'm gonna build a PC with Henry Cavill.
Cool.
We don't.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a
see,
fun video. This could be content.
Daniel with his gangly arms.
I like the idea of Daniel standing next to Henry Cavill, both in tank tops.
That always what I had in my head. That's what I had in my head. Yeah, when I first heard the announcement, I was like, "Oh, is this going to be kind of like an auto chess game?" Because I played Dota's auto came out, and like it was a super fun game. And I was like, "Oh, auto chess with Warcraft characters seems pretty fun." But it's not. It seems more like a Clash of Clans game. But and it's like that game came out so long ago. It feels like they're a little behind the curve with like Clash of Clans. So I don't know. This is definitely not for the Western audience. This is definitely for more of an Eastern audience, more of a mobile. They're definitely going into having a branch of mobile games. Diablo Immortal's coming out this year. They're trying to get a little bit of income, I think, for Blizzard, but it seems fine. You know, people are gonna play it. I like Warcraft. The trailer's super fun. I like the style, and I think Blizzard always puts out fun trailers. So yeah,
Like,
if you like Clash of
Clans.
Clans, I say check this out. It looks like Clash of Clans.
I worked with this Polish chap, and he was like, all he talked about was Clash of Clans, and we had nothing in common. So I was like, it looks like I'm playing Clash Clans, and I just ended up just on it every night. And I was like, oh, and then went to work. I was like, oh, we can talk about this now. And he was like, Clash of Clans. I was like,
That is how you can tell Sims is a very nice guy, because he might play a game he doesn't want to, so he can have something in common with his coworker. That
Spent
is great.
about
you know what I would do? I would avoid that person for the rest of my life.
Oh man, he was so cool, man.
Have you guys ever played an auto chess game before?
What's an auto chess game?
I've never even played chess.
How have you not played chess? Did you play chess? It Takes Two.
You're right. We did do that.
You fucking liar.
Did we?
Didn't it?
Did we?
You know, actually, I don't remember that. Maybe we did.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game.
I don't remember if we played yet.
No,
But,
I remember Connect 4 in A Way Out. That was very fun.
So auto chess is actually pretty interesting. So basically, there are 8 people, and as the game goes on, you like have a certain amount of life, and they start eliminating people, and you are just putting these characters on a board, and you don't actually have any agency on how they fight. You just put them on a board, and they kind of do their own thing. But they all have like different classes and like different abilities that help each other. If you have like a bunch of knights, all the knights will all other knights or things like that. And I played the Dota one, so it had like kind of Dota characters and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
Kind of a battle royale-esque type of thing where you're like eliminating until you're trying to like build a good army and level up and stuff. It's pretty fun. The name sounds weird. Calling the game auto chess, it kind of comes from it
I was
being.
about to say, this doesn't sound like chess.
It's on a chess board, like that's how the board. The auto chess was like the first version of this, which it kind of had its own characters and stuff. That's why people call it an auto chess game. League of Legends has their own, and Dota. They kind of came out. I think League's is like Teamfight Tactics. I think Dota's is. I think it was called Dota Under League or something. I forget what it was called. Super fun.
Dota Under League. All right, cool. Next up then, Xbox has revealed a new deep pink controller, and it's available for purchase right now. Go out there, go get it.
That's
Fill your deepest, pinkest desires. Sims, you like this one?
You know what I mean? Yes.
It's a good controller.
It is a good controller. I agree.
We've got more Xbox controllers than we have PlayStation controllers. It's crazy.
Wow.
But they literally, because we own like three. We own 3 of the consoles, and then we bought a separate one before we owned. So we got like 4 Xbox controllers and 2 PlayStation.
You use it on your PC. You know?
Well, yeah, we got one here, and then there's.
You are Xbox's ideal fucking customer.
Honestly, I've been on Xbox.
You got an Xbox shirt on. You got 100 different Xbox controllers. You got 4 different consoles.
Honestly, man, I'm just Microsoft fucking.
Apparently, I'm the fanboy though, right?
Right. I just bought this shirt because I like to like. Who's
Spencer's watching right now. He was like, "I would sponsor you guys, but he's got a fucking PlayStation blanket right there. I can't do it." Sorry,
Pick a
Steph.
side, Sims. You can't play everything.
You can't have
Pick a
both. You
Got
want
side.
to have
Nintendo
Pokemon on your
property.
bed too. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't do
and a
it.
bunch of Pokemon. Yeah.
You're inconsistent, damn it.
I've got the
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts chapter up here.
Oh, do you really?
Oh yeah, I see him.
That's
I
Axel
see
right there.
Axel. Yeah, I was gonna say I see Axel's
Oh,
red hair.
That's
Is
Riku
that
right there.
Riku?
Yeah, that's Sora in the middle.
Yeah,
Who's
about-
that?
that's Axel right there.
Who's this?
I can't. Too many people have silver hair in those games. you know?
Yeah,
I
there's a
can't
lot
tell.
of white-haired people. in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, man, controllers are cool, man. Like,
They are cool.
we're trying to be, a bit more responsible with the cash. Like, I think if one of our PlayStation 5 controllers break, we'll just buy another one.
How are you?
Like, yeah, it's cool to announce these things. Like,
Danielle, you picking this one up?
Probably not. I already
No.
have a decent amount,
Sure.
but
I
I
need a
think
new
my
Xbox
next
controller.
one might just be a design lab if I just go
did
make my own.
you two own the Elite controllers, right?
Nah,
I own
You didn't.
This one.
You got the Elite controller, didn't you?
the Halo one.
And then
Is that your main controller, Daniel?
I try not to use it all the time. If it's like super intensive, like a multiplayer, I'll go. I don't want to like burn this controller out.
Sure.
This is too special.
Bit too much. Leave that one on display.
I use it for just kind of a more less intensive game.
Cool. Next up then, Netflix put out a sizzle reel of their upcoming animated shows, and in it we got our first look at Sonic Prime, a new series coming out sometime this year, which I had no idea existed before this trailer thing.
They announced it. They just didn't talk.
Did we talk about it on this show?
I think so.
Hmm.
Can we just? We need to go like take Sonic out back and just end it. There's too much Sonic. I'm just kidding.
You want to jump Sonic?
Yeah, I want to jump
That's your
Sonic out
solution
back.
to this?
Yeah.
I went to
that's
see
what
the
we need to
movie
do.
on Monday. I've been cinema twice this week.
Yeah.
Check me out.
Oh, a lot of movies. How
Yeah,
was
I'm
the
waiting for it
Sonic
to-
movie?
Very
rent
good.
it.
Very good movie.
I've yet to see it.
Very good. Very, very, very good.
Very good. Okay, sure.
I don't understand your hate. Like, they're genuinely like the best.
One is okay. It's
They're best
okay.
2 video game movies ever made. Like, they
No.
genuinely are. Like, what name a video game movie that's good?
The first Mortal Kombat's better than Sonic one.
No, you're on drugs. You're on fucking cocaine. Sonic is fantastic movie.
Way better
And then
movie.
this is number 2 is so much better. Except for
I
like
agree. I mean,
there's
there-
like
there
a
really
10-minute,
aren't good
there's like a
video games
5-minute
besides
scene
that.
in Sonic 2, which was just the weirdest thing ever. Even I was like, I think at one point, Natalie turned around to me and was like, "Are we still watching Sonic?" I was like, "I think so."
What was
It's
going on?
This
in
movie
this?
changed.
Honest to God, it was so weird. It was so weird. No,
It's a
seriously,
real hedgehog.
he's on drugs. All right, whatever Daniel's taking, he needs to stop taking it right now.
Or take more.
Maybe take more.
Push through. Yeah, push through.
Push through.
Yeah.
Definitely
And
push.
this show's
through.
probably gonna be whatever. Fine.
I did not like the animated style of the show at all. I thought it looked
The
pretty bad.
the screenshot looked okay, and then like seeing the little teaser thing, I was like, nah, it doesn't really.
Nah,
look
I was
that
out.
Great.
They also announced more Cuphead episodes though in this sizzle reel, which was more exciting than that Sonic show. Also, the
How are
Dragon
they do?
Prince
Are they
coming
doing
back
that?
this year.
What is?
Just doesn't involve video games. The Dragon Prince. I just like that
Oh.
show.
Yeah. Did they? Is it like season 2? Is that what?
Of Cuphead.
Yeah. Is
I
that
think
how
they
they
just said
announcing
it's just
those?
more episodes. They said, and it's like coming out this summer, so like they obviously been working on that show again. So
Yeah. Let's stop working on the show if it's the creator, so we can get a new game.
and you're getting that DLC, right?
I guess, but like honestly, it's taken so long. They should have just saved that all for a new game at this point. You know,
This
it's
is
been like 4 years.
But like, I think this has got to be like the most amount of effort into a game because it's hand drawn, right?
Supposedly, yeah. I'm not sure how the game made, but yeah, it's supposedly hand drawn animation and stuff like that.
Quality of that, really
Yeah.
impressive.
Impressive shit, Cuphead. Okay. Next up, then, the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake will now be handled by original developers Ubisoft Montreal, and they said they will build upon the work of the previous teams. Which I forget which
Speaking
previous
of
teams were doing.
things being taken out back,
Prince of Persia. It's so funny because like we all knew how badly that remake looked, and it's just like, okay, you guys realized it months into development, possibly years. that it's like, oh, this looks like shit.
I guess to a little bit of Ubisoft's credit, they kind of gave this developer time to like do something with it, and like that kind of shows a little bit of faith there from Ubisoft. But I guess they couldn't meet the high standards of what people wanted, so they're going to give it to one of their premium developers, Ubisoft Montreal. So we should probably expect it, next year, maybe around this time next year, I would assume.
Ubisoft, another developer that seems to be in deep trouble here.
Massive, like they can't get their shit together. Every game they seem to have just turmoil. Like, I mean, I was really looking forward to Prince of Persia this year. Like, I was like, I happily play that in February. Like, I never really finished it, the original one. I was like, I was too young, too stupid, too hard, Gevel. But I own it. I found it the other day.
Ooh, you gonna play it?
No, I want to wait for the new one. But yeah, this came out. I wasn't surprised. I mean, fair play. Like, Ubisoft, here's his team. Go and do this game. And then it showed, and everyone was like, this is bad. And they were like, oh, all right, okay. Imagine how awkward these meetings are.
I mean, then they gave him more time.
And then more time. And then what else, what else have they seemed to have done? Obviously, teams have limits. And then obviously Ubisoft have standards. And if it doesn't meet to a certain standards, they've got to...
And the pandemic has probably hurt it pretty bad, I would assume.
Yeah, but I mean, last year they were like, yeah, it's coming out Feb, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So like, it can't have affected them that much. But I mean, obviously it does. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real big shame. This is one of those like, remakes that we don't. Well, was it remake that we don't?
This is their full. I think they said this is their first full remake at Ubisoft. So.
Which is weird because the trailer we've seen for what they were previously working on just looked like they up-res the old version of the game. But I don't know. Ubisoft gotta get their shit together here.
I like Far Cry 6 a lot.
Far Cry 6 was great, sure. But it's everything else seems to just be falling by the wayside, like what's going on with Assassin's Creed, the whole plan for this giant Assassin's Creed game that's gonna add in other ones. That just sounds like a horrible plan. Beyond Good and Evil 2, what the fuck is going on there? No one knows. That game will probably never come out. That Skull and Bones looked completely. We got a leaked trailer for that sometime last week.
How was that looking? Like, you guys must have watched it. I tried to watch it.
It looked fine. It just looked. It is not like this grand pirate game that everyone wanted. It just seems like it's more focused on ship combat and like getting other ships and stuff like that. And then the walking around looked very basic compared to that. But I mean, I like the ship combat in Assassin's Creed games. Don't get me wrong, but a whole game built around that sounds like a bit much.
If it's done right, it could be fun. But yeah, and then even what they're doing with Rainbow Six, like they're just kind of messing with that property too much. Kind of just need to let it be its own thing.
Distraction completely failed.
Yeah.
I mean, that game did nothing for them.
I think it did okay because of Game Pass gave them a lot of players, but
I am hopeful for this rumored Assassin's Creed game that's supposed to come out before the bigger one. It was apparently supposed to be DLC for the last Assassin's Creed game, but then they just ended up turning it into a full game. I'm hopeful that will go back and just like give OG Assassin's Creed fans a little taste of the past. Bring that back. Just make a smaller, more tighter Assassin's Creed experience again. Just give me that
game.
One last, stealth game. One last hurrah before Ubisoft gets sold off to Tencent or whatever the fuck. That sounds fun.
Wow. Tencent. Guys, I'll be back soon. I gotta go and do some dad stuff.
Sure. Okay. Have fun with your dad stuff. Me and Daniel will talk about Star Wars stuff then, because next up, new characters are coming to Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, including Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, and Moff Gideon. And you asked me, Connor, how could you possibly pronounce those names correctly when you pronounce every other name you read off this list wrong? And that's because I'm a giant fucking dork. That's why.
It's Star Wars, baby. That's why.
That's why.
It kind of sucks because I already beat this game. I uninstalled the game already, and then they're going to put my Star Wars character of all time in this game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that sucks.
And then number 2.
What would you have done, though? You're just going to run around as a Ahsoka Tano for 5 minutes?
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Played?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I want to do. But it's too late now.
Then. Now it's too late.
I should.
Re-download it,
I
yeah.
should.
Too much effort to
But
click a couple buttons.
yeah, I might do it just so I can run around as Ahsoka for a bit. But like, and then number 2, where's my Rebels characters? I said this at the beginning when this game was first coming out. No
Bad
Rebels,
Batch
no
characters
Ahsoka.
are there though, Daniel.
Visual
Bad
listeners,
Batch
for a
characters
treat.
are
Watch
there.
this Harry Potter shit.
What are you about to do? Ooh, that was cool. Is he grabbing drugs under his bed? You think his screen's off right now?
Wow, look at that.
I really hope the people can see this. That is fucking dope.
If you get in,
If you-
just disappear.
Can people see this?
Just jumps in it.
Just hide.
Yeah,
A bunch of
see
kids
it.
run out.
Yeah, people can see that.
He's got a bunch of cocaine and kids in there.
That's where they hide from the Nazis.
That
in
just
World War
completely
II.
pissed me off. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Damn, I need that bed. What were we talking about? Star Wars, Lego Star Wars.
Bad Batch characters are there. That it's true.
Bad
like they
Batch
have,
characters are there, yeah.
but then like the 501st aren't there. Like my boy
Mm.
Rex is not there. One of my
Rex
other
ain't
favorites.
in it.
Like you got to put them all in at this point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll just get around to it, right? It seems like that's
Maybe,
the direction
yeah.
they're going with this DLCs. Just add in a bunch of classic Star Wars characters that aren't already there. I know they got skins for the Han Solo movie, so you can play Donald Glover and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
too,
Solo.
so- yeah,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
And the Mandalorian. And Baby
Mandalorian.
Yoda.
Plays Baby Yoda. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Fly around in that little thing.
Well, whoa. You know what? Maybe I won't. Are they free characters? Do we know?
I don't know. I do not know that actually.
Yeah, because if I have to buy Ahsoka, I'm not buying.
Nah, can't do
I'll have
it.
to look into that. No.
How much could
I'm
that
not
be?
doing
They
it.
charge you $5 for her.
It's too much. I already.
But
played
Daniel, this is the
game.
only game you could play as Ahsoka Tano.
I know.
It's the only game.
crazy. Can I do a one tangent real? Just
Hell yeah,
because
you
we're here. Where do you think the future of WB? We've had a lot of, like talks
This is another one.
today.
This is another one that seems to want to be sold, right? They want to sell off all these developers.
And I guess a tangent to a tangent. They've sold a lot of like, their other like the Warner Media and all of that. Like they had that whole stuff with Discovery and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, they are like Warner is messing with things. So I'm wondering like what's really going to happen with like they got big studios, Monolith. They have NetherRealms. What is that Montreal one called? What are they called?
WB Montreal.
WB Montreal.
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. The other Avalanche team, right? That's them?
The Hogwarts guys.
Yeah.
They must own them, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I can't say 100% for sure, but yeah, they must.
So like that's high quality. I'm probably forgetting TTT. That's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
It's TTT or
Which
TT
might be
games.
at least their highest selling studio, right?
Maybe NetherRealm. Maybe
Oh yeah,
NetherRealm.
sure. Mortal Kombat. No, you're very right. Yeah.
But like that's some high quality studios there. So it's like, who's gonna be, scooping them up? You assume that they're gonna be next or one of the next.
It's just
right?
mind blowing to me that like it's not Microsoft or Tencent or Sony going out and being like, hey, we want to buy you. Here's a blank check. Let us get your shit. It's them going to these big companies and asking to be bought, which is just fucking crazy to me because it's like we're gonna look back in like 10 years and it's like what a mistake this could possibly lead to. With all these studios wanting to be purchased. But again, it might be just because of the pandemic and times are hard right now and stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's WB. I would hope that those developers like just sell them off separately. Like that. I don't want.
You don't want them all to go to one.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you don't. Is that what you're saying?
No. I don't. I mean, I don't want any of this really, but it's just like.
No, I don't. I don't either.
Yeah, like. I mean, especially with Tencent, right? Like that's the number one company you don't want to purchase big developers.
They got their hands
really
almost everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's really what you don't want. So it's just, I don't know. I would like to see just more if these studios are gonna get bought. Just like, hey, maybe Sony wants fucking Rocksteady or whatever. Okay, they just buy Rocksteady.
I'm assuming,
or Microsoft wants the Mortal Kombat guys. They just buy them then.
I'm assuming this is a package because it's like under their big banner. So I'm assuming it should just be a package.
I think that Square thing at least gives me a little hope that that these companies would be a little bit more willing to sell off the studios separately to just different ones because they did just sell those three, just ran, not with the rest. But also, I guess we didn't talk about it. This kind of downvalues Square's overall package if they are trying to sell the whole thing, right? Like you just missed that. You just sold like really good studios, and now you're kind of cutting in half your overall package if you are trying to be sold, right?
I mean, that could be I don't know. They could just be trying to sell just to get under a banner, and
Yeah.
that could have been an easier way to do it. But yeah, who do you think, if it's one whole package, who do you think is the most likely?
For WB?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think we're gonna start seeing more of like Amazon get into this, and Tencent, stuff like that. Yeah, because I think at a certain point, Microsoft and Sony got to be worried about managing all these studios. It's like, I don't know. At a certain point, they got to just be like, I don't know if we can handle more. Like,
I feel let them do their own thing. Who cares?
is it that simple though? Obviously we're not businessmen. This is another problem I got with this whole thing is like the entire games industry right now. All of a sudden, everyone's like a fucking business person, and they know, all of a sudden, like people are talking like in depth about purchases and stuff like that. It's like me especially, and like us. I guess I don't want to speak for you two. I don't know jack fucking shit about business. I don't know how this shit works or amounts of money and stuff like that. I just don't. So I'm pretty much talking on my ass when I speak about purchasing studios and who should be bought and who should buy them and whatnot, because we don't know ultimately. And I don't. It's just a very weird time right now.
Yeah. I think if you kind of let the studio be the studio, and they just kind of speak to you, like the upper management speaks to you, comes to Matt Booty, right? Because he has Phil's job now.
Yeah.
If they are all just talking to kind of Matt Booty and his team, it's like, who cares? Like, Todd and Pete Hines, they're just talking to the team, and they're just talking to their developers.
It should be that simple, right? But
you would think it all flows up to them. So that
you would
doesn't
assume
seem
like
that
what's the
complicated.
problem? But then again, I don't know, man. It's like you do have to manage stuff, right? Like they're gonna have Xbox is given a budget, to how much money they can give out to all these studios and stuff like that. And it's like they got to manage all that and stuff like. At a certain point, I just feel like if Xbox buys WB and then EA and then Ubisoft and all this, it's like you guys.
Oh, I'm not saying just them.
No, I'm not. But like if they did, it's just like at what point is it too much to manage for Sony and Microsoft? Because like if these studios are going to go somewhere, that's who we want them to go to is Sony and Microsoft, because we know them, we know they love games, we know they work well with games. It's but yeah, I just worry about the management of all these different studios. Weird time. I'd like to do like a draft. Like where would you like these guys to go?
Nowhere. Is that an option? Is that an option? Can none of this happen? But hey, we're in a new era of games.
Yeah, we definitely are. It's funny, man. Like wait till like next console gen rolls around, and we're in like a completely new era, and there really is only
no third parties
that own everything. Yeah,
yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy time. All right, cool. We'll save this one for when Sims gets back. So next up, then, Summer Games Fest is finally have a date. Let's start that over. Summer Game Fest finally has a date for Thursday, June 9th at 2 p.m. EST time.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Keely, he likes his Thursday.
Did he say how long this show was by chance?
I missed it.
Trying to figure out if I could watch this, because it's like I got 2 hours before I can go to work then. I guess we'll be doing the show, though.
We'll be doing the show, yeah.
That's a good point.
We'll be in the middle of the show during that, which kind of sucks. That's the only... I kind of wish it was a little later. But I
don't know. We'll discuss. Maybe I miss out on that episode, and you guys just film after, so we can get that in there. But I don't know. We'll
Sims can't do that, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we'll do it the week after.
Sure.
But because then we'll have other, Xbox would be Sunday as well. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
But Keely likes his Thursday, and yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be the big show. You'd assume everyone that wants to have something in this time frame will be under his banner. You assume they're going to kind of have a little bit of the banner with Xbox of it being that week, the Games Fest week or whatever.
I mean, it's entirely possible we see like Starfield here and then get a bigger blowout of it at Xbox a couple days later. Like that's.
I want to shout out to Maddie, Mr. Maddie Plays. He was talking about a leaked interview apparently with Todd Howard and our boy Keely. And now that we see that his event is right before Xbox's, there could be a big Starfield thing or pre-Starfield thing at Games Fest before. You'd be talking about having him come out with a big thing
Yeah.
What if it isn't at Xbox? What if Xbox is just like pure gameplay, but they do the kind of the more talky stuff at Games Fest with a big interview with
I was
Keighley
almost
and all
thinking the
that.
other way around, but yeah, I mean, it could be either way, right?
Yeah, but Xbox I think has too much on their table, and I think they don't have
Yeah, good point.
time,
Good
right?
point. Yeah.
So just have a big 10-minute gameplay footage, right? And then all of the talking and
Kind
anything
of
you
just
need.
split his half-hour
Yeah,
talks that he loves to do about his games
exactly.
in half. Yeah, go there and there. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me, honestly.
I think Maddie is on to something there. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. I mean, what else we expecting here? I guess we kind of are getting like a little mini E3 here, right? You know, we got a show on Thursday and then that Sunday, and then who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe even Nintendo does a direct on their traditional that Tuesday or
It'll
whatever.
be
the
that
fuck.
week. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
that week. Yeah, we're gonna we assume like Keely's gonna get some big reveals. He had that big Elden Ring trailer. He had Tiny and Tina's reveal. So I'm assuming Gearbox is they like Keeley. I'm assuming Tales from the Borderlands 2 is gonna get a big reveal, a date, all that at his event. Saints Row, didn't he do Saints Row as well? Like
Yeah, it could have been. I can
somewhere
never
around
remember
there.
where this
Yeah.
stuff is shown. Yeah.
Maybe more of that. Keely's gonna get some reveals. Remember, he's been teasing for months now. Like he knows
Yeah.
things. We'll see.
Keely knows things. I want my Jedi Fallen Order 2 trailer here. Give me it. God damn it. I didn't get it yesterday for May the 4th. And I was like, I don't know why I thought that was happening. I just kind of assumed like, oh, May the 4th. Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Could have been.
Fucking do it. Could have been. I don't know. You could have just, and plus EA's not doing a conference. So I was like, okay, just put out the trailer then that day.
Yeah.
Great. All we need. But maybe it'll show up here.
I blame Jeff Grubb, so that's his fault.
Yeah. Maybe PlayStation comes here, especially if they're not planning on doing a showcase. I know there's rumors of a June showcase for them. I don't know. I think though more than likely, I think we'll just get another September one of like
Didn't they do July last year?
Last year was September.
It was September. Okay,
yeah,
it was
but
July.
the year before that we got one in June and then another one in September, if you remember. But I think they just had a lot to discuss because the console was launching that year too. So I think
you'll wait.
September, and then I think possibly here, if God of War is coming out this year, I think we'll get we might get the
state of play
here. Yeah, because if you remember whatever Keely did last, the Horizon date was at a Keely event, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, I remember it being at like the end of a something. I can't remember which one exactly, but I think maybe they give them the God of War release date here.
Yeah, they definitely want to do it before their September event because that's where I still think we were. Like, I'm gonna shout out to us. We kind of called out like late summer for this game, anyways. We've been saying that.
God of War.
Yeah, we've been saying that the entire time. So I still feel like it's going to.
I don't know when we said, but there was that leak forever ago in a database that said God of War Ragnarok September 30th. I think it was last year, like end of last year.
We've mentioned it for a long time.
Yeah, but that date is also the end of Q3, so that could have just been a placeholder. But it's also lands on a Friday, so I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a great date for God of War.
August, September, like that's going to be where it is. Probably
that's a very good time, right?
Yeah, they like that September. Isn't that where Spider-Man was at? Right?
Yeah, Spider-Man came out right there. They definitely do like that time. Yeah, so I think God of War release date could be here. If it's this year, I think it's got to be there. Unless it's like December and they wait for the showcase in September.
I could see them doing it like a short state of play.
They could do that as well.
Their big
I would
event.
love if they copied the Hogwarts and did a blowout thing for 30 minutes with God of War. That'd be very cool.
That big Ghost of Tsushima one they did, and Last of Us 2 one they did. Like those were really nice.
They tend to save those for like a couple weeks before the game launches, at least on their first party side. But I would take a page out of that Hogwarts Legacy book because that was an awesome state of play, and that'd be very cool to get something like that, like a very good deep dive months ahead of release.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I like that.
I'd like that too. Okay, cool. Way to go, Keely. Look forward to your event. Next up. A new Mafia game is reportedly in development at Hayner 13. This comes off the back of the studio head Hayden Blackman and CEO Matthew Urban leaving the company.
COO,
excuse me. I thought you, what's a COO?
Chief something officer, chief operating officer, or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
I thought you put two O's and forgot the E. So
No,
I just said CEO. Okay, great.
that's what his title is.
That's what it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah. What's interesting is that story about these two leaving was like yesterday, and
Yeah,
then the game announcement
they announced this.
saying
Yeah,
the report was this morning. So it seems like there's some movement there at Hangar. Yeah, that the studio's been it's had a rough time.
definitely. If you remember, these guys were actually heading up the development of the next BioShock game for a little while, but they took that away from them and created a whole new studio.
Cloud Chamber.
Yeah, Cloud Chamber after I don't know, something must have went around there. But I think the last thing they put out then was Mafia Definitive Edition. And then before that,
Yeah,
Mafia 3.
did they have a lot to do with that collection?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no,
But,
Mafia
that's
3
their
and like
IP, right?
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another Mafia game, that's cool. I would like it maybe to be like kind of a soft reboot. Let's it doesn't necessarily need to be like called Mafia 4, but
Have you ever played one of these?
yeah, I have the definitive edition. I played a little bit of but it just still kind of felt a little old.
Yeah, I played a little bit of 3, and then the gameplay was really bad. The story was very interesting, but the gameplay, I was just like, I don't want to play this for fucking 30 hours, So I just kind of bounced off of that. But
yeah,
I would hope that's what you guys nail in the next one, because they seem to be fine story-wise. So they must have high-quality writers over there. I just need that gameplay to step up a notch.
Yeah, and it's going to be an Unreal Engine 5, which is awesome. But just everyone seems to be using that engine. Seems like everyone loves that engine. So, yeah, exciting.
Everyone moving over to that. I guess we didn't put it in here, but we learned Obsidian is now making Avowed in Unreal Engine 5.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if they switched engines over into Unreal Engine 5 or if
it's probably
built there from that whole time. It just became like available though to all
yeah.
these developers, right? Yeah.
I think it's like a transfer because like I don't remember where I saw, but I saw something like it's not that they're making it not that hard to like
to transfer
move
to Unreal
over.
Engine 5.
Yeah.
That must be it because it seems to be a lot of guys doing that. Yeah.
There's a lot of studios.
It must be easier than Unreal Engine 4 because Kingdom Hearts 3 halfway through development switched to Unreal Engine 4 after they were having trouble with Luminous Engine, and that held up their development a couple years because they had to redo a bunch of shit. So I wonder if in Unreal Engine 5 they saw that problem and they were like, okay, let's just try to make it super easy to transfer stuff into Unreal Engine 5, which is cool, right?
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts 4, is that trailer was in Unreal 4, but the development's going to be in 5.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It seems like it's and that was supposed to be some in-engine kind of footage too. So it seems like everyone's kind of like maybe kind of dipping their toe into 4 until 5, and then now 5's available. So now it's kind of
that's interesting. What's interesting to me is did Obsidian already work in Unreal Engine 4? Like, did the Outer Worlds, was that in Unreal Engine 4? Do we know, or did they have like
Wouldn't
their
surprise
own
me?
Because it's got to be like almost impossible to transfer stuff from an engine that isn't Unreal, right, into Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, so that was Private Division, which is 2K, but I assume that was probably still Unreal.
It could have been.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I don't know how many proprietary engines that they even use.
Yeah.
2K. So maybe Rockstar is like the only one, but I'm not sure.
Nonetheless, it's seeming like almost everyone is going to be running games on Unreal Engine, which I don't know if that's
seems like
a good or bad thing. Like I don't.
I guess for Epic.
Yeah, it's good for Epic certainly, right? But like, do games start to feel samey if they're in the same engine at all? I guess you make different style game. I just wonder if like if you're gonna like notice that that like
it's just a tool.
Games gotta feel the same. Yeah, it's just a tool. Yeah. Again, I have no idea how game development works, so.
Yeah, it's just ultimately it's kind of just a tool, right? Like,
yeah,
it comes down to the creatives and the developers and stuff to use the tool to make their own style and stuff,
Yeah. Nonetheless, with Avowed, I hope this doesn't push the game back at all. I would assume it's not really. I was kind of already thinking like fall 2023 for that.
I still think it's next year.
Yeah, I hope it's still on track for that, but I guess we'll see.
Obsidian works pretty quick. Like they always got a lot of projects. They work pretty fast. That seems to be their next big project. So yeah, I think next year. It's been since 2019. and then they had that smaller part of them work on those 2 DLCs. So
Yeah,
for Outer Worlds,
very big team.
they are very very large. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Our last news story is about wrestling, and I don't know where the fuck Sims is. Because he's the wrestling guy. This is the only reason the story here is for him.
I put it in there for him.
He's not here. I guess we could just, shit around. Nice glasses, Daniel.
Thanks. They're the same glasses.
Kill time for Sims.
I called my doctor, my eye doctor, right, yesterday, because I'm like, okay, if you remember last year, I was telling you that like my car, somebody stole my prescription sunglasses. The only ones I have, they're prescription.
Someone went in your car and stole your
Someone
sunglasses?
went in my car, and this was last year.
Uh-huh.
And I never went and got like a new pair. So I was like, yesterday, I was like, I'm gonna call. I have to like set up a new appointment because a while they need to check my eyes just to make sure everything's okay, nothing's changed. And I was like, I want to get less reflective lenses for these, for the show. So
yeah, I can see it right now. Actually,
yeah.
It's actually really annoying now that I look at it.
Yeah, it annoys me too. I know.
Okay. As long as we're both annoyed.
Yeah, I called them and they just would not pick up. I called like 5 different, never an answer.
What time of day was this?
It was like 3:00. They don't close until like 5.
Maybe they were on lunch. I guess that's a late lunch, though.
Yeah, that'd be a late lunch. I'm gonna try to call them. Maybe it might be a little late by the time the show's over. But
like, that's something very odd happened to me yesterday in my car. I got out of work and I hopped in my car, and for some reason the passenger seat was all the way back in my car. No one was in my car. My car was just parked all day for about 8 hours.
Locked?
No, my car, the driver door was open. So I'm like, someone went in here, didn't take anything, but put my passenger seat all the way back. It was just like, I'm good.
What?
Yeah, it was very odd. I don't know. Nothing was missing.
Like they were just fucking
valuable in my car anyway. It was all the way back. Yeah, it was all the way back. It was like as far back as the passenger seat could go. And it was just, I'm like, what the fuck? Like who went in here and just put my passenger seat back?
Taking it out in your car.
My coworkers is fucking with me, but it's like that's a horrible joke because that just confused me. You know, like you could have done something way funnier than that.
Weird. Like, do you know who would have done that?
Well, okay, so I have like a little Boba Fett head on my antenna of my car. You know, you ever see those little things you put there? Yeah. So and my car's blue, so it looks cool. I have a little Boba Fett thing there. And one of my coworkers would fuck with me, and I'll take the little Boba Fett thing. And sometimes he'll just like put it somewhere weird, you know, like I park next to him most of the time. Sometimes he'll put it on his card, or like he'll put it on top of my car, or put it on like the dashboard of my car or something. So I'm thinking it was him, but I'm also just like, why would he just put my seat back?
It seems odd. It's
a very odd choice. I'm gonna have to talk to him today.
Yeah, ask him. Like,
it's like, what?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Do you? I'm assuming you don't have a ton in your car that anyone would want to take, right?
I mean, it's a shit car, so yeah. I mean, there's papers in there.
Yeah,
but
just
you know.
Yeah.
You want the pink slip to the car? Okay, great. I mean, you can take it. I mean, you're only gonna get like, I don't know, $1,000 for the car, maybe. You know. Also, you don't have the keys, so unless you know how to hotwire.
Every time, put a screwdriver in the key, the key ignition. Yeah.
There was in Better Call Saul. I won't spoil anything, but there was a very hectic part where someone was trying to hotwire a car, and I was like, man, this looks really difficult.
Yeah, it is. You have to take off. Yeah, because you have to like take off the thing and then get in there and create the spark.
And then what you like cut the wires and then try to like.
It's very particular ones.
The other ones, yeah, very particular ones, huh? I feel like I need to learn how to do that. It seems like a useful skill.
It's useful to do that.
Doesn't it? I mean, what if like the apocalypse happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have your car broke down for some reason or whatever, and there's a car on the side of the road, and you got to run away from zombies.
Sure.
How to hotwire,
I think siphoning gas is probably more important.
You would need both of those, right?
Yeah, you need to be able to be able to siphon gas out of all the gas tanks.
Sure. Is that hard? I mean, that can't be that difficult.
So what you do is you put the tube in there. You have to keep getting the flow to come this way, and then put it into something. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well,
I have not watched Better Call Saul yet. Season 5's now on Netflix. I need to catch season 5 before season 6.
they're through episode 4 now, and 1 through 3 was just
I heard it's impeccable.
0 to 100, and it was fucking incredible. Episode 4 slowed down, but it had to slow down because like you'll watch these first 3 episodes and you'll be like, "There's no fucking way the whole season is like this," because it's
the finale though.
Yeah, no, and it's just I mean, it gets nuts. So much happened in the first 3 episodes that I thought would be like the whole season arc.
Okay. Well, see,
episodes,
I'm a little behind, so like I still haven't even seen 5 yet.
Okay.
So I haven't seen like the setup to that, but I'm very excited.
Sorry, I've been watching a lot of TV, and then I watched Better Call Saul, and I'm just like, there's television shows, right? There's even great television shows, and then there's the Breaking Bad universe. It's another level. It's on its own another level. Yeah, you can't touch it. You really can't.
Yeah, can I give a shout out to my boy Nacho?
Yeah, please.
My boy Nacho, dude. I love Nacho so much.
Daniel, get caught up. Get caught up. That's just get caught up.
I'm gonna watch it. I need to watch it. It's because the Breaking Bad is my favorite. Undeniably the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
Just period. I don't like. There's nothing better.
Nothing. No, there really is
absolutely nothing.
I agree 100%. I mean, Breaking Bad is the best television show ever made. It's not even really close, honestly.
No, I mean I have some attachments to like some of them, but
sure. You could argue Twilight Zone, and there's the only other argument I will hear.
I really like season 1 through 6 of Game of Thrones.
But that's the thing, right? Is you have to have that contingency there. Season 1 through 6.
Yeah, but that season 1 through 6 is so good that it's like, come on.
It is. I would say Game of Thrones if they didn't.
It's up there.
Completely drop the ball with the last season.
To me, it's still there no matter what.
I still think it's a great show. I just think I do think the last season drags down the whole show though a little bit.
Yeah, it's more they just needed more. So
much was dependent on that ending and the way they were telling that story, and it's really
for me. It's the length of it. Like they needed more time to do it. I kind of like what happened for the most part.
No, I do too. Everything. I just needed more time to explain it. Like the Daenerys transition into her being evil, that needed way more time.
I know I'm really behind. But I'm like on YouTube, like, and it's like a couple of seconds behind. But Daniel, go Soul, get caught.
I will.
Oh, Sims is caught up. Wait, Sims. Nah, he's gone. Whatever. Okay. We're doing the story now, all right? Damn it.
Okay, just go ahead. Go for it.
He's gone. We're moving on. Can't bullshit anymore. Sorry. AEW Fight Forever is now the official title of the wrestling promotion's upcoming video game. Wrestler Evil Uno revealed the title on a live stream. Also confirmed the game is coming to PC, consoles, and sometime later. I don't think they said a year.
Does that mean this year?
I don't think they said anything about a release date. So sometime in the future.
Maybe in the spring or something?
Next spring? To PCs and consoles. And they also showed some new footage of the game.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Sorry.
I mean, it's cool that WWE, it's nice to see that they have like a rival wrestling company, and cool to see now that they even have the rival in. So it'll keep them balanced. It'll make the WWE want to be better in actual wrestling and in the games, and same with AEW being better. And
do we know who's heading development of this game?
Ukes.
So
Ukes, what makes this so interesting is Ukes was the original developers of the WWE 2K games when they had that big split, and then the 2K developer of the basketball 2K developer had to pick up and did 20, and that's when it became the mess. Is when Ukes left, and then they had to get them to finish the game, and it was nothing. Now Ukes is making this AEW game, which is kind of weird. It's a very weird thing.
And they're considered like good wrestling games, the ones they've made?
Yeah, I mean, they got kind of stale, it seems like, but I think most people consider.
Okay.
Sims.
I'm glad someone knows about this.
Sims doesn't like them, I guess.
Sims doesn't like them? Okay.
No.
We're just bullshitting about this wrestling game now, Sims. He just says no. All right, well, I'm glad you knew something about that, because I had no idea what was going on there. Is this going to be like a full-price game? It didn't look like a...
I'm definitely behind, but it's Ukes, the original developers of the wrestling games. They're the best thing ever. So hopefully AEW are crazy good. but I have got WWE 2K22, and it is quality. Definitely about 20 seconds behind. But
No, you're perfect.
I
You can't
back in
hear
it.
us.
I got an eye
Sure.
situation.
Yeah, I
Pass
know
me
your
over.
daughter
You
getting
got
in a
the
lot of
third eye
fights.
growing. I get it.
All right, cool. Well, maybe we'll hear more about the wrestling stuff from Sims, and we are now going to move on to what we've been playing. Daniel,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I played a lot this week because now we're getting some. I kind of told you guys before the show started. A bunch of indies coming. There's like 4 indies releasing today. It's just a lot, but
What are all for?
still, we got Loot River,
Okay.
Sleeper, or I'm sorry, Citizen Sleeper.
What is that?
And it is a RPG, narrative RPG. Look into it.
Narrative RPG.
It's
Okay.
on Game. So all these 3 are all gonna be on Game Pass. So it's Loot River, which came out 2 days ago, and then Citizen Sleeper and Trek to Yomi, all on Game Pass, which is awesome.
What's the fourth one?
And then the fourth one is this game called Best Day Ever. I'm sorry, Best Month Ever. Best month.
Ever. Wow.
It looked like a story of a mom and kid, and there's like a bad relationship with the dad, and they're like on the run or something. Like I wasn't trying. I didn't want to get a ton spoiled, but like it seemed like a very narrative game, very like Kentucky Route Zero or something. Very like kind of 2D, pretty cool art style. I'm gonna check it out.
Cool.
But yes, I've been continuing the Kingdom Hearts stuff.
Hell yeah.
Went through what last week? I went through 2 and Birth by Sleep. Man, having back to back like 358, 2, and then Birth by Sleep was just like that was some quality stuff right there. And then now I'm like kind of towards the end of Recoded,
Okay.
which is a game.
That's a game, all right.
It's a game. That's all I can
What a
say.
weird thing they did there.
I don't understand why it
Recoded,
exists. Why does it exist?
They just needed to fill in some gaps here.
I haven't finished it, but is there a reason that this is here? Actually,
there's a pretty big story thing that happens like at the end of that one.
At the end, okay,
yeah, that like ties into the overall thing going on. But no, Recoded was just a hey, we're putting out a Kingdom Hearts game again.
Okay,
and it's not free.
So I guess I'll wait and see what this this connection is. But yes, I beat 2. 2's awesome. I love 2 a lot. I love Birth by Sleep a lot as well. And you are right, like it's still up there with like but like Aqua was just awesome.
Aqua is awesome, yeah.
One of my favorite probably my favorite character. I also really like Terra. I think Terra was a really cool character.
Great, yeah.
I liked the dynamic of being pulled in both directions, and you kind of get that with Riku a lot. He kind of mirrors being pulled in the light and the darkness.
I really like the having the 3 different campaigns and one another in Birth by Sleep, and then you kind of get different stories at different times when you go to all the different Disney worlds, and the way it all kind of comes together towards the end is very fun.
Yeah.
And GTA copied them. They were like, "Oh, Kingdom Hearts had 3 characters. We need 3 characters."
Yeah,
GTA 5 was made.
That's exactly why Rockstar was like, you know what?
They were like, "Hey, these Kingdom Hearts guys, they're on to something here. We need 3 characters, 3 playable characters."
I'm gonna ask you here, why does Ventus got to look like Rockstar?
Because he is, isn't he? That's who he is.
No,
because. Daniel, part of Ventus's heart went into Sora's heart at the end of that game, and then when Sora became a Heartless, he got split off into 2, and Roxas took the Ventus part, and thus he looks like Ventus.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, he didn't make any of that all.
Nope, and the thing is, I understand what he's saying too. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
And you know what? And that is what they call progress.
Yes, as progress.
You have now lost your fucking mind. Congratulations.
What I want to say too, like Birth by Sleep, I'm still kind of like, well, me and you talked about, but the designs of the 3 main characters of Birth by Sleep are impeccable. All 3 of them. for some those designs, I think are the best things in terms of look that they've done in any of these games so far. Like between Terra and Ventus, like Ventus, I love his look. Aqua has a great look. Like those three characters, their designs are so impeccable. I don't know if it continues and improves.
It's great.
Who?
Master Ericus.
He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. Luke
he is
Skywalker,
cool.
man, fucking awesome.
What's his Xehanort was so over the what an insane.
He's the main villain of 3. You're gonna love it.
Is he? I kind of figured.
Unfortunately, the voice actor died. He was the guy that played Spock in the whatever.
Oh, Leonard Nimoy.
Star Trek.
This is Leonard Nimoy. Oh,
yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he didn't do. Did he even start 3 at all?
By
that time,
I think I think he had parts, but I think they just fully replaced him after he died.
That's sad. I actually couldn't tell. That's really good job for Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
The
whoever picks it up too does a great job of capturing that same voice. So,
good.
Yeah, you don't really notice the transition.
Yeah, I guess because now I'm talking about Birth by Sleep, but go back to 2 real quick, because I guess in the timeline that's still the furthest thing. Like they really wrapped so much up in 2 that like I'm very curious how it continues. I guess they set up Xehanort right in Sleep, but like they really wrap.
They give you problems in these spin-off games, so
yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. It's just like they wrap so much up into it. How do you like it? But I mean
that's kind of what you want though, right? Like 2 is to feel like a complete game, right? So
yeah.
So also you got to realize the gap between 2 and 3 is like 15 years. So,
something
they kind of had to too. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm continuing that. Then I had like a couple nights of Stanley Parable. I don't know if anybody else here is playing. We can all talk about that, right?
Hello,
I think
Stanley.
We all played this.
Hello, Stanley.
Hello, Stanley. Stanley walked into the other room and realized his co-workers are not there. what a game! Like what? I mean, I wish I could play a bit. I wish I could I'd say I played a bit. I moved like 2 hours, and I mean 2 hours doesn't sound like a lot, but I did some fucked up shit in 2 hours.
Yeah, this game will. It like you don't need to put in a lot of time, but the more time you put in, you can like do other things. So it's like I'm probably not going to put as much time as some people. Like I did the very main ending, which does, and
you're cutting out,
and that's
you're cutting out for you, Connor.
Yeah, it's been the whole episode. I just thought that was me. Sorry.
Am I cutting out?
Not too much, but like when it gets to like really important bits, yeah.
Oh,
it's like Daniel is. What is Daniel?
I'm not sure why.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's
cool. No, it might not be Discord. It might be my roommate. But
what's your roommate on?
But
fucking Salon, man.
No, not him.
The other one.
Yeah. What was I saying? You could put in as much as you put in a bunch of stuff and do as many different endings, this different stuff. Like, there's a lot here. You don't need to see everything. It's nice that they put like a clear marker of the new stuff. It's like there's a new content door.
I literally got to that bit and then turned it off. It says new content, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's
if you, I think that appears, or the door appears right away if you click that you've played it before.
Okay.
That's when and then because I didn't get that door until like after I did a few endings.
I did.
I don't remember seeing the door until I got the main end.
Okay. Did you click that you haven't played it before?
Yeah, I did. I don't remember seeing the door until
maybe that doesn't matter at all then.
What did I click? I did the proper ending. Then I did the disobey everything he says. Yeah. And then even when the phone rang, I took it out of the wall. And then he was just like, he was mad. Like, Stanley, you're ruining everything. I don't know. I don't understand what's happening. You're supposed to listen. And then the game just goes weird. And then it ends. And then I did another ending where it was like the escape ending, and like I was gonna die, and I should have turned my police. And then I went to a museum. It was just weird, man. It's so funny. It just.
Did you guys do the one with the button that fast forwards? Yeah,
no,
that one was great.
No. New content. That's the new content.
That's new. Oh, okay,
I went down the stairs, and it was like the same room looping, and then I went into like a room that was supposed to have my girlfriend. He was like, "Are you ever think you have a girlfriend?" and then it was like you're gonna press
Like a
these
song.
buttons. It was
I think
like
it's a
when you
wife,
press the
but
button,
yeah.
and press the buttons and stuff, and it was like, so you're
Mhm.
gonna do what I say, and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
man.
good one. I like that one where you're like in your apartment and then it slowly transforms into your like desk.
Mm.
That's really funny. It's a
I
good.
gotta
That's a
get
good
that.
ending.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that was with the phone, and if you pick it up, and
Oh,
then you
okay.
like, then like that's your wife calling you, and then you
Shit.
like,
Oh no, the one where the one where I went down the stairs and listened to it, like saying, "Oh, the rooms were all the same." The next minute, I'm gone insane, left the building, and someone found me. Something
Someone
like that.
found
It was so
Really?
weird.
Huh. I love
yeah,
this
there's a lot of
game. This game is
endings.
so charming.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much content is in there too, because like you really can't tell how much there is, but it's just each time I play it, I find like a
There's
new
different
ending
things.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, different things. To get
Rooms
me
look
back.
different, and
Yeah,
and then I think I did something or other, and the game I restarted the game, and then the game did something different, and then I found dog mode. When I press X, I'd bark.
really.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, crazy. I found it's like I was like when the game started, I opened the door and I expected to walk into the offices. I was in a different room, and then it was like a whiteboard, and then in the corner it was like dog mode. I clicked dog mode, and then every time I'd press the button, I'd bark.
Now you just bark.
It's so cool, man. Like, it's just weird.
So-
Like there's so much in there.
The new content's great too. I guess we don't want to
Yeah.
talk about too much to spoil it for Sims, but like there's just some really funny stuff there. They added the jump button joke got me.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious. They added jump button, but like it's only in this little circle outline, so like you can
You only get
jump
so
here and
many.
there. Yeah, you only get like 30 jumps. It's just like we added a jump button now. That's great. Yeah, what a fantastic game. I really didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
The trophy for clicking the door 10 times.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
then
did
he
that
makes you
too.
do, or like I was just laughing and laughing. Like it's such a charming thing. I'd love to play. I've had like the week off work, but it just seems like there's so much I want to do, and it's just not enough time to do it all. Like I've
Yeah.
like jumped on, like I'll talk about it in a sec, but I've jumped on so many different things, and like before you know it, you tucked up in bed, and you're like, oh, I wanted to do that yesterday. It doesn't
That trophy though with the clicking the door, that was just hilarious how it
Funny.
just called out trophy hunters. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh man, you're totally just ripping into my soul right now.
He was
calling
just
me
like,
out.
"Oh, you can do it, Stanley. I believe in you." And I was like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do it. I'm gonna do it."
Are you really clicking this door just to get a trophy right now?
Oh, so good. Click the copier. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, click the copier. It's funny because one of the doors you need to click becomes the new content door, so I couldn't get it at
Yeah.
first. Yeah, I had to wait for that to close again and then go back and find it. But yeah, great trophies too. I know I mentioned it last week. There's the one to wait,
Yeah.
not play the game for 10 years and then come back and play it. I almost want to do that and like just not play the game for 10 years.
Well, apparently in the original it's 5 years.
In fucking 2032. I was at 5 years in
Yeah,
that
in the
one.
original. And then, did you do the Tuesday trophy? That's the one that really intrigued me when you were talking about it.
No,
That's really-
I didn't. Although I did see people. So they must have found a way to cheese that one because yeah, last week when the game first dropped, no one had the platinum. But then before Tuesday, people had the platinum. So I don't know how people figured that out, but they did.
Weird.
Okay, cool. Daniel, anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, I started Sifu.
Ooh. Did everyone start? Did you start Seafood Sims?
No, like I said, not enough time. Seriously, like time is just it's not on my side. Like I need to pick
You gotta
something.
stop sleeping, man.
Honestly, if I could, I would. If Genie came out, Genie just turned up, come into frame as like, "Hello, Steve, I'm a genie." You get one wish. Like people be like rich, good looking, famous. I'd be like, no sleep. Don't want no sleep, and I can achieve all them goals that he just said. If I didn't sleep, I'd be no sleep. Don't need it. Who needs to sleep?
Not
I
you.
wish I didn't.
Not
Like,
you.
Like, I just don't need it. Who needs to sleep? Who need I'm wasting 6 hours
Your
of my
brain
life.
does.
You
but-
add up 6 hours or 7, or you're supposed to get 8 or 9 hours sleep a night. You add up 9 hours over 80, 90 years of life. How many hours have you wasted?
It's a 30. It's a third of your life if you sleep at 8 hours.
There you go. Look.
Yeah. You'd be
See?
like me, sleep 12 hours a day.
That makes me sad.
Still complain that you're tired.
So yeah, I've played. I'm playing Sifu. I'm trying to good ending, so you need to spare all of the bosses. So yeah,
That's a
beat
thing.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was.
Yeah. If you kill them, I mean, I guess that's still an ending.
You
But
spare them. I don't even remember that being an option.
I'll tell you.
Sure.
So
Fucking listen.
It happened 3 times in a row because I am in the third. So the first area is super cool. I love the hallway. It turns into a hallway, 2D hallway fight. I love that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
the Daredevil scene ripped out and put it into a video
Old
game.
Boy. Excuse yourself. It's Old Boy.
I've never seen Old Boy, so it's Daredevil.
Okay. Old Boy was a super cool kung fu movie. I was like the first one to really kind of do a 2D like that. Yeah, so once you get to a boss, what you do, Connor, in order to get the spare option, um, in the second phase of a boss, Sims, I'm hearing an echo through your mic. I'm not sure how, but yeah, I was hearing it when I was talking. Yeah, no, not anymore. So once you get to a boss and you're in that second phase, you have to get to when you get the takedown option to pop up. I am hearing it again now, Sims. When you get to the takedown option, you cannot take them down that first time to kill them.
Okay.
So you have to let them sit there. So you'll do it. You'll get to that final stage.
Oh, so when it's like halfway through, you just let them sit there, like halfway
So
through.
there's 2 parts, right? The first part, it doesn't matter. You can do the takedown. When you're in the second part, you'll get to that takedown. You'll break their posture bar, and then you can go for the kill. That if you want to just go for the kill, you could. If you don't, you wanted to get the spare option. You have to let them sit. Let them come back.
Was this
then
updated into the game, or was
No.
that was always there?
It's a trophy.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a trophy, I think, too. But once you get then you go to do it again, and then you break their. Then you cannot do the knockdown. If you did the takedown, So what you have to do is you'll see it'll pop up on your D-pad. You hit the left D-pad, and then you'll spare them.
Cool. I didn't even know.
So
that.
yeah, I've spared the first 2. I am in the third area, which is I know that you like the nightclub. I think the third area is the best. The museum.
That's the museum. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love the museum. It's so.
Museum
Cool. I love the second phase of this boss is stupid. She just throws knives. Like it's not like I have a distance weapon. And it's just like she's just constantly throwing knives.
So are you dying again and again and again, and then restarting again? If that makes sense. You're not breezing past these things. Then you've died a few times to have to restart.
Are you playing on the easy?
No, I'm not dying.
Or whatever
yes,
they added 3
difficulties.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, student is what I'm playing on. So you only level up.
Hard is it? I guess you don't really have a good comparison to.
You only go up once.
The normal.
Yeah, I don't really have a good comparison. I will say apparently they don't do as many combos, but like they still hit from this difficulty. Like you will take damage, but if you're pretty good with the combat, like you should be fine. The third, I'm in the third area, and what's nice is I got this like elevator key, and it just took me straight to the boss.
Yeah, one of the shortcuts.
Yeah, for some reason I expected I still had to do way more to that third area. So last night I got to her, and then I kind of worked. But yeah, I'm trying to spare everyone. I want to try to see what that good ending is.
Daniel, can you do something about your cutting out?
I can text him and see if he can mess with the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be just like a clip. It's like a clip guard.
It's not. It's not. It's him. Let me text. You go ahead and start talking about other things.
Tell Sloan to turn off the porn. Jesus.
No more porn.
Yeah, no more porn, Sloan. God damn.
Go do drugs, kids.
Yeah, over here.
Do
drugs.
Connor, what are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just trying to make my way through life, Sims.
Yeah, man.
Wake up every day, try to just better myself as a human being, as a person.
Actually, talk about
shit. All right. Video games, though. What am I doing? I have played and beaten Uncharted 2 again, just for no reason. I want to get the platinum in all of them at some point. So, Yeah, I did that. I just played through on normal and went around, got all the treasures. Followed a guide to get all the treasures. That was fun enough. Man, Uncharted 2 is fucking hard at the end of that game. I forgot how hard this game is. Like, I was on normal and they were kicking my ass, and I just beat the first one on crushing like 2 weeks ago. And
you're telling me you ran out of luck a lot.
Yeah, you run out of luck in this game. Drake, he just gets shot. Fucking luck running out.
Fucking hate
Dumbest thing.
That ruined. Whoever told me that ruined it.
Just don't believe it. It's ridiculous.
What do you mean, it's canon. You ran out
I
of
don't
luck.
care if it's canon. It's not.
It's canon.
It's not my truth.
What's
not
a better excuse for that? That he's just getting shot a million times and living? Like, nah.
Sure.
Nah.
Because he gets shot once in a cutscene, and then he's fucking dragging his leg the whole fucking time. I mean, we see him get shot.
So where are you at then in video game life? Like, you just run out of things to play, or is this something that you just?
Yeah, I mean, you never really run out of stuff to play, right? I mean, I don't know. I like platinum games, so whenever we get downtime like this, I go back, I platinum some shit. And
Are we all doing Trek to Yomi tomorrow then? That's the plan for me. I feel like
it's out right now, right?
No, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Today?
Sure.
Is it today? You're on drugs, aren't you?
Out right now.
Motherfucker.
Drinking drugs already,
I thought it was tomorrow. I had big plans.
Downloaded.
You have big plans? Well, you can change your plans to right now because it's out, buddy.
My big plans are... I don't want to talk about it.
Getting a lot of mixed reviews. I'm not entirely sure how into this game I'm going to get, but I'm definitely going to try it.
It looks... I've looked at it a few times in different lenses, and I'm like, it looks quite basic.
Yeah. I guess I don't even really know. I've seen gameplay of it, but I don't even really know what the hell you're doing.
It looks great, like, to the eye.
Yeah.
Whether it plays okay, that's a different story.
Sure.
I'm sure it's short enough, though.
I invited Jordan Andu. I'm terribly sorry, I butchered his name. But I invited him to the show, but apparently Doctor Strange is more important, and I respect that.
It is.
He reviewed the game today. Had it published on a website. Good for him. Congratulations. So I thought we could get the professional on, but Doctor Strange more important. Some would say watch it earlier.
Yeah, that's a good point. Change your times, move your schedule. But whatever.
So
other than that, I guess I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to come out. I don't know. We're definitely in a downtime right now.
I wish.
There's the indie
I am snowed under.
Check all those out, but I don't really know what is the next game I'm looking forward to. I guess the Quarry. We're still like 6 weeks out.
I'm really excited about the Quarry.
Me too. Can't fucking wait for that. Strikers, again, that's the same day, so about 6 weeks from that as well. I don't know. I would hope like some of the indies I'm looking forward to get release dates here soon. Like where's Oxenfree 2, where's Stray, where's all those other small indies PlayStation had at their various showcases and stuff like that. I was kind of hoping we get release dates for them because they're other than that, I'm not really looking forward to too much.
I know I'm treading old podcast waters, but like you were talking about God of War. I was like in and out in the car. So I missed what you were saying. What you think God of War at the at Keeley's thing?
Oh yeah, I was thinking maybe we get a release. If we're gonna get a release date for God of War this year, it'll probably be there, especially if it is September, August, October time. I think it'll definitely end up being.
Do you think with the Keeley thing? Do you think we'll get his thing? I think is this the Thursday, the night?
Yeah, Thursday.
So do you think there'll be a lot more like people kind of just trying to either Keeley saying, "Oh, put your date here. Let's make it a bit more of a compact thing."
Definitely.
Research, community feedback have said, look, they like it all in their audience retention. Having that one weekend of like news is good for you guys. So hopefully,
yeah. That's why I just think a lot of third parties are going to have to put their stuff on Keeley's show because there's no E3 this year, right? And only nice so much can go on Xbox's show. Who knows how much they have such a huge first party lineup that who knows how many third parties are actually going to be at Xbox,
and then
because
maybe
it's only so much time.
Maybe PlayStation, they're not. It's just their thing, isn't it? Friday night. I know they probably won't.
Yeah, maybe
they can, and it'll be on their terms. Plus, it'll be kind of stealing Xbox's thunder in a competitive way.
Sure, I don't mean Daniel. We're just talking about. I think I am kind of with him where I don't think PlayStation's going to go until September again.
No,
with a big showcase.
I think we're due a state of play though regarding PS Plus.
Are we? Or are they just gonna put out a blog post and tell you the titles that are coming to that day one?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I don't know if we are close to a state of play with the PS Plus thing, because they could just put out a blog post of like a tier system and then what games are coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really had time to talk about it with anybody. I know we're going quite long, but I mean, hopefully they get a good catalog of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. And like, I know when we all talk a big game of like, oh, I really can't wait, dead excited, blah blah blah. And like, we all just gotta this day one, we're gonna download them, we're gonna try them, we're not gonna finish them. You know what I mean? It's just, oh, let's put Tekken 3 on and let's jam on that for a bit. There is a few games that I probably would stick with, like maybe a Parasite Eve. Never finished it. Sit down with that and play that. Fingers crossed that goes on there. Hopefully. Or
yeah, I don't know. It's like
I'm quite excited about all this.
A lot of the games from that era for me have already been brought forward, like your Crash Bandicoots and stuff like that. So I don't know. Not really too much from those gens that I want to go back and play.
I'm excited to see what we get, and I mean you guys have been quite down on it. I'm quite looking forward to it, see what this is, see what the potential is. So,
I'm only down on it because I want new releases for it.
Of course, yeah, 100%.
Not that I think that like it's gonna be the worst service ever. No. I would like new releases, and like that's
I want them to start talking about it a bit more as well.
I wouldn't be so down on it if Game Pass didn't exist, right? Like if your main competitor wasn't doing it 10 times better than you already are, then I wouldn't be so down on it, but they are.
Sure.
You were talking about what you were playing. So are you literally just Uncharted and
yeah, I'm still playing through Kentucky Route Zero. Yeah, beat episode 4 on that, so I got one more episode to go on there. I guess I'll save that for next week when I finish the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of looking for random stuff. Again, check the Yomi. Who knows if I get into it or not? I'm gonna definitely try it, and then pretty much it. That Evil Dead game kind of intrigues me. Coming out in a couple weeks.
That's what next week.
Next week,
May 14th.
Next Friday, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So I am kind of intrigued by that. I'll probably wait for reviews, but again, it is only $40, so maybe I'll just pick that up, have some fun with that. I did get quite into like Friday the 13th back in the day, so I wonder if I could do the same thing here with Evil Dead. But who knows?
I mean, what is your connection to Evil Dead? You like Evil Dead?
Yeah, I like it. I don't think I've seen all of them, but I've seen the original. I've seen that reboot one, and I couldn't tell you.
Say 2 or Army of the Dead?
I'm not sure if I saw either of those. No.
Oh, 2 and Army of the Dead are so good.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back and watch those.
You should.
Evil Dead. That sounds kind of fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Sims. Anything else you've been playing?
Oh, yes and no. Like I kind of just dabble in everything at the moment. Like I mean, I'm not really spoke to you about Tiny Tina, but that was a joke. Like the whole thing, like they're just such a bad taste. I've got nothing good to say about it.
It is a funny game.
Like, sure, but no, I don't get. But it's I know it's probably just a me thing as well. But like, it's trying to. There's 4 of us all cross playing it all up and like trying to get a game going. It just seemed it was like a half an hour task every night. And then it just sucked the fun out of it. And then we just kind of mainlined it.
Still getting the issues?
We gave up. Well, we finished the game. We finished it. Didn't even pay attention to the end. Like, just shot the bad guy a lot, and that was it. And we were just like, I can't be bothered. Like, it's just such a bad taste. Like, I've got such disdain for the game. Like, every time I read something positive about the game, I'm just like, how can you live with the fact that the game is in the fact that your servers or whatever it is just in such disarray.
I mean, it wasn't that bad for me.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know. I really don't. But
I don't know. It could just
be
between all the different consoles.
We live, we learn. I don't. Maybe
is my thing real quick? Is it still messing up? Or is it better?
I need you to do A B C D all the way for it.
A B C D E F G H I J K. Is it good?
I didn't say stop.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we weren't done yet.
You sound good.
Good.
No, yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
So we moved on. Like we were looking for a game to play together. So we Stardew Valley all over again. Put it on the Xbox. Yeah, like Stardew Valley, like it's just like comfort food. Like it's just like you play the game, you have a good time. Yeah, that's it. Really, like trying to dedicate all my time to one thing is just dead hard at the moment. Like time and like everyone wants to play Stardew Valley, so we're just playing that. I got a wrestling game for my birthday, so I've dabbled on that. But it's like
Are you making the two of us in as well?
I'm not the most creative person. Like I'd
Okay.
like to.
Yeah, I would like to see you make all of us. That'd be fun.
We'll have to try like a triple threat match or something. But no, I mean, I'm really into like the kind of funny thing. Like that was like
it's so like I'm an older wrestling fan, right? But so like I don't really watch a lot of the new stuff. But like when they did the intro for this new one and they did like that old song,
yeah,
I was
the
like,
old the old 2000 and like
yeah,
2 music, like
yeah, it was so
But no, yeah,
Loved
really,
it.
that is really that's honestly like I'm more interested in that into the real stuff at the moment. Like, talking about wrestling, they've actually announced the pay-per-view for the UK, and I've never been so excited about anything in my entire life.
They're coming to London?
No, Wales. Wales.
Oh, they're going to Wales.
Wales.
Okay.
Aye, Wales. Yes. What have I done? So I've downloaded the Reggie book, so I'm gonna do that. Tried a bit of WWE 2K22. 2K22, like the controls are just so weird. I'm looking for that. Like I'm looking for how to simplify it, but I don't know if you can. But I swear they said that you could, so I'm gonna do YouTube quick on that. But the game looks impressive. It handles well. Like the controls aren't that confusing, but they're not what I'm used to. So I just need to sit down with it for the afternoon. I went for a tutorial with it the other day. I got House of the Dead for the PC, which is great. That I played like 5-10 minutes of that. That was fantastic. Like, just
are you not going to get it on Switch with the Joy-Cons?
Right. So obviously I've watched a lot of House of the Dead Switch reviews, and everyone has the same problem with the gyro. And I don't want to be moving a D stick. Like I don't want to be doing that. I want to be aiming. I want to be aiming. Yeah. I'd rather it come with a gun or something. So I was like, well, what's the next best thing? And I was like, oh, the mouse. And it really, it that was great to play. I watched the film, which I do recommend everybody watching.
Wow, you watch a movie?
I very rarely watch movies, but I've always wanted to watch this film, Boiling Point. I remember talking about it a couple of months ago with you. Like, it's just like one night as a chef, Daniel can really like one night as a chef, like having the worst day of his life, and like relating to him. I'm like, oh, you're having a bad day. Like nothing's stressful. It honestly the most stressful film I've ever watched in my life.
Jesus. Speaking of, you should watch Chef, the Jon Favreau movie. It's great. It's really charming and fun.
Chef's great.
It's so good. It's such a great movie.
Maybe not. No. If it's on Netflix, it's on my Netflix, not on your Netflix. An hour and a half. Just Stephen Graham, phenomenal actor. Watch it. A great film. Like from beginning to end. He walks it like the first 5 minutes of the film is him walking into like environmental health being there. And he's just like, why is this man not wearing gloves? And I'm like, oh no, why is he not wearing gloves? Oh no. Oh man. And then he's like asking the questions to the lady. I'm like, oh, what's the fridge temperature should be? And she just gets it wrong. And I'm like, oh no. And then he gets like downgraded from a 5 to a 3. And I'm just like, this is stress. I'm 15 minutes in. I'm like,
I can't take it.
Yeah, it's just I've just had a birthday. I've been to cinema a lot. I know like this is your life, is what you've been playing, but Stardew Valley, like and 3 players in the mix is really like makes it a bit more fun on the Xbox.
What does it go up to? Is it 4?
4, yeah, 4. It's a shame it's not cross-play, but I played a bit of FIFA 22. Connor, I downloaded FIFA 22 for you, by the way. You need to get the next 2.
Did I want that?
It was on PlayStation Plus. Don't worry.
Oh. Thanks. I didn't want it.
Well, I thought it's free, and I don't go Janet Garcia on me. All right, you just download the game. I mean, I'm probably missing something, but I just try to put games on and dabble in. I dabbled in Lake a couple of weeks ago. Like, I kind of just.
I also played Lake for a hot minute.
Yeah, it was like I did it for like 2 days.
I was like,
it's a super chill game.
It was just like do the route, and I was like, well, I've done the route. I like these people are starting to get interested. Did another route. We started to build things here, and I was like, well, I'd rather just go on YouTube and watch the interactions with these people instead of driving around in these clunky driving. Like it just, but that was like I'm just going through this like phase of like I don't fancy that. I can't be bothered to do that. So he's just.
I got a lot of Game Pass. There's just so much there.
Tiny Tuna, man. Like it kind of just beat me. Man. Like honestly, it really did. Like
Tuna.
That's what we call it in the group. But it's just kind of he's trying to beat me to like. in a bad way with like in a video game way.
Don't
like,
get jaded.
No, I'll be back because there's such like an avalanche of video games that have come.
Yeah.
And I'd rather, instead of like wrestling with it, I'd rather just walk away from it and do something completely different, or just play Stardew Valley because it's just a simple experience.
Are you gonna check out Sifu again, Connor?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and try to beat.
You are too? Okay.
I've got a list. I wrote a list, but it seemed to be the worst thing I ever did because I wrote the list and I'm like, nah, I can't bothered. It made it worse.
Yeah.
Fuck the list. No, I'm gonna go back. I just I hit a wall at that 4th level in that game, and then I was just like, fuck it, I put it down because they announced that the easier mode coming out. So I'm hoping I have an easier time with it when I go back to it. But yeah, I still have that game downloaded, so I'm definitely gonna go back and beat it at some point. I only got the last 2 levels, so if it is easier, I should be able to just run through it.
Games to knock out. Lol. Tunic didn't like. I just like it wasn't. I spoke about it last time. Tunic, not Death's Door. Like that's all you can put. Like Lego Star Wars. Me and my 6-year-old daughter with an attention span of a fucking gnat. So we play a bit. I'm bored. Okay, let's turn it off. But you know, she enjoys it. She wanted to rescue Padme in episode 1. She's like, I want to be the princess. I was like, don't worry, kid. We're gonna do that.
We'll get her.
Did some pod racing.
Don't tell her what happens to her later.
No, did some pod racing. And then we're on episode 2, but we've not got mad to it yet. See-through, waited for the easy mode, which was it landed nicely day after my birthday, just not got around to it. Cyberpunk, do I want to start it again? Far Cry, kind of want to go back to it. Memoir Blue, not
literally at 45 minutes an hour.
Didn't grab me straight away. New World,
Sure.
that was like part of like Steven's birthday extravaganza list of things to do. Just start New World.
New World, that Amazon game?
Yeah, I bought it for Christmas. Like that was like my graphics card in New World was like my Christmas present.
Yeah.
And then the wrestling game, Dying Light, kind of waiting for a crossplay so we could play with a friend on his Xbox.
Maybe I should get into Dying Light. I do own that.
Did you play it for a hot minute?
Yeah, for like a second I did. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
you own 2?
Huh?
Yeah,
you own 2?
I do. Yeah.
He definitely
bought it. Wow.
He definitely did.
I don't remember that.
Dude, I just buy games, Daniel.
He does.
Okay.
I have a problem.
Kentucky Route Zero and then Tiny Tuna. But yeah, just I don't know. All I can say is like just watch Boiling Point, like because it was just phenomenal.
That's it. That's the big takeaway here.
Watch.
Did you say where you're at? Kentucky Route Zero? Did you even go back?
Yeah, I
to
beat episode 4.
He's on episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got one more episode. I'm gonna save it for next week when I got the whole story.
Sure. 5 is on the shorter side.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that next week. All right, cool. We're out of time, so I'm gonna wrap up the show here. I'll leave you with some breaking news though. Stone Cold Steve Austin has declared Breath of the Wild as the best Zelda game. So there you go.
Isn't that Cody Rhodes that did that?
No, Cody Rhodes declared
Cody Rhodes
as the best Zelda game.
Then,
and
Austin said.
Steve Austin replied saying, "No, dude, Breath of the Wild."
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
So there you go. Stone Cold said
that's
it.
the bottom line.
I was just waiting for
Stone Cold said so.
That's the bottom line.
I don't think I've talked about WrestleMania either. Like WrestleMania was phenomenal.
I think we mentioned it.
A month ago was that? Wasn't that like a month ago?
Yeah,
that was a month ago.
I think we mentioned
I've not been I've been on one show in a month. Like life is hard, man.
I feel sorry. All right. That's going to do it for the Nerd Gods Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/Nerdic Gods. You can also find us on all audio platforms. Guys, anything else you want to say?
Be good for each other.
Watch Boiling Point. Netflix.com/Boiling Point.
Only in the UK.
Hopefully
Bye-bye,
not.
everybody.
In a bit.